Hello there guys, and welcome to another edition of Star Wars Comics. We dive in immediately. The Separatists were keen on stopping the massive production of clones for the Republic, and for this reason alone, they attacked Kamino. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and a comment down below. Hope you have fun, and let's get this video started. The Republic was slowly losing this battle. Cargo platform C-22 was captured. Security Sector 6 was overrun, and finally the Central Armory was invaded. Lama Su was desperate. Right next to her was Jedi Master Shaak Ti. She assured her that while the Jedi still breathe, Kamino will never be abandoned. Well, if that was the case, then Lama Su had an idea. They do have one last line of defense. It was the ARC Troopers, the Advanced Recon Clones. They were in fact trained by Jango himself. However, Shaak Ti was a bit tentative. If they were stable enough, then why did they keep them in stasis tubes? Lama Su went on to explain that they do sometimes display Jango's personality and independence, in a way his aggressiveness, making them unpredictable, but in this case alone, they had no other choice. They had to use whatever they had in their disposal. The clones were outnumbered. Protecting the young children clones, they were being gunned down left and right by the droids. As soon as it seemed that it was all over, suddenly the ARC Troopers jumped down. Using their training, they gunned down and crushed every droid that was on their way. The children were amazed. They had saved them. The ARC Trooper, however, did not share the compassion. They could have saved themselves. They weren't defenseless. They were trained for these specific battles. Suddenly, another battle ensues with droidicas. They find cover. What's more, Shaak Ti was now present. She went on to slice and dice every droidica that was present with her lightsaber. But there was no time for celebration. More battle droids were coming. The ARC Trooper instructed Lama Su to evacuate the children. He will take care of the latest generation of clones. He proceeded to go there, together with Master Shaak Ti. He was in fact headed straight for the cloning labs. While en route, they were again overrun by droids, but suddenly a lightsaber slices through them all. It was Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. They had joined the ARC Trooper and Master Shaak Ti. Obi-Wan was glad to see her again. In fact, he had feared that she was already dead. Rudely, the ARC Trooper says that she will be soon if they don't keep moving. Anakin is surprised. He had never seen such a rude clone. As a matter of fact, the Jango in this ARC Trooper was starting to come alive. Obi-Wan was all too familiar with the passive aggressiveness of Jango Fett by now. However, the ARC Trooper had a point. He said that the droids aren't standing around talking. We shouldn't be either. They should keep moving. Through a small hallway, they proceed to enter the labs. Now, the droids were ready to infiltrate the labs as well. They were right behind the gang. Anakin was in shock. This entire lab was holding an entire clone generation. There was no time for deliberation, however. The droids were already infiltrating the labs, and the Jedi were doing all they could to protect it. The ARC Trooper opened up a panel. He started entering a code, and when Obi-Wan asked him, "What are you doing?" the ARC Trooper answered with he had just entered the self-destruct code. Shaak Ti was stunned. He had basically doomed them all. What is he doing? Again, the ARC Trooper is dismissive. These were specifically Jango's orders. They can't allow the clones to fall into the wrong hands. They either grow up loyal to the Republic or they don't grow up at all. But the Jedi were still faithful. There had to be another way. They can't just simply destroy the entire facility. Well, suffice to say, the ARC Trooper had an idea. He told the Jedi to use their powers in order to tear open the transparisteel, protecting the hallway from the water. Since there was no other recourse whatsoever, the Jedi used all of their powers combined. Shaak Ti, Obi-Wan, and Anakin proceeded to use the Force. The transparisteel actually started crushing and crumbling. The hallway was completely destroyed. The droids were being sucked into the ocean. But now the water was starting to run down towards the lab. Using all of her might, Master Shaak Ti started manipulating the materials around the door. As the water was starting pouring over, the Jedi had sealed it shut. They were finally safe. All they had to do now is hold the position until the battle is over. The ARC Trooper proceeded to deactivate the self-destruct mechanism. He entered the code, and that was it. He had practically saved them all. Master Shaak Ti, in fact, approached and thanked him personally. However, the ARC Trooper was a bit dismissive. In fact, he hadn't done it for them. He was just following Jango's orders. Sad to say, this issue ends right here, but I know I had fun doing this video. This was a blast and an interesting tidbit to say the least. These are the specific stories that make Star Wars such a grand and powerful adventure. This now falls under Legends material since the comic issues from Star Wars Republic series are now non-canon officially. As we say with most of them, I think, we would love to see a variation of this at least brought into the canon lore. Some might say that the ARC Trooper was extremely rude to the Jedi, but you have to admit the courage and the loyalty that they show is quite stunning. It was in fact great to see in this issue, and say what you want about the guy, but he did save an entire generation of his brothers. As always guys, thank you so much for joining me today on this video. Hope you had fun watching this, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my videos. If you want to discuss anything Star Wars, follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description. Have a fun day, my Star Wars friends, and before you go, may the Force be with you always.